You're right.
All right, good evening, everyone, and welcome to the school board meeting for the school district of Brown Deer. I would like to call this meeting to order at 6:03 p.m. Verification of public notice. The meeting has been publicly noticed. Verification of a quorum. We have 6 of our 7 board members in person and 1 online virtually. Looks like he's on, Ash. Approval of the agenda. Can I get someone to approve the agenda for us? So moved. Great, thank you so much, Director Macon. Can I get a second? Second. Thank you, Director Welch. The reading of our vision and mission statement. Our vision is to provide a rigorous education that empowers our students to confidently navigate in our ever-changing world. And our mission is through the lens of excellence, equity, and engagement. We are dedicated to empowering every student with the essential skills to build a foundation for lifelong learning. Up first is number 2, our business office report. So we'll start with our report from Mr. Paul.
Good evening, board. On our update, I only had one thing. That's about our workers' compensation mod rate. This upcoming year, our rate is going to jump from 2.19 to 2.29, which suggests injuries in the district occur at twice the expected rate of a similar employer. This year, we were forced into the state pool as no company wanted to insure us. Reviewing our claim history, we had a better year this year as compared to previous years. However, the mod rate is calculated over a 3-year average, but doesn't take the most recent year into consideration. So I anticipate this next year will be our peak mod rate. Although I do have a call with Gallagher to confirm that tomorrow. And then just some notes, we have negotiations tomorrow with the DDEA, and teacher contracts are to go out on Friday.
All right, thank you. Let's see. All right. And I need to back up a little bit because I called for the vote in the second for the calling the meeting to order, but I didn't take an actual vote. So all in favor? Aye. Any opposed? All right, so let's keep moving then. Approval of new hires, Ms. Jackson.
All right. Well, so tonight we have 6 new hires that I've been able to hire within the last week or so. I will start with the new hire number 1, Taylor Kendrick for the elementary school, 5K teacher. Start date is going to be August 24th of 2026. This will be an internal change. Years of experience of the new teacher is this will be Taylor's first year of teaching. To the next, Noelle Anderson for the elementary school, also a 5K teacher. Starting date is going to be August 24th of 2026. Replacing Carla Vandenboom. Years of experience will be also first year teacher. Third would be Christopher Jacoby for the elementary school. Position is going to be the fourth grade special education teacher. Starting date is going to be August 24th, 2026. This is a new vacancy needed for the elementary school. Years of experience for Christopher is 11 years. Next new hire is Valerie Gilbertson for the elementary school. Position will be an early childhood special education teacher. Start date is August 24th, 2026. This is an open position. This is the first year teacher as well. Next new hire will be Mr. Mark Formanek for the high school. Teaching position is for physical education. Starting date is August 24th of 2026. Replacing Mr. Zachary Nexgen. Years of experience would be 16. The last new hire would be Ijeoma Oduna Ananaka for the elementary school. Position would be a second grade teacher for special education. Starting August 24th of 2026. This is also an open position needed for the elementary school. And this new teacher comes with 9 years of teaching experience.
All right, so we've got a good group of 5, looks like, all with the same start date. Is it 6?
Yeah.
It's not.
Oh, okay. Okay. It's on the motion sheet, it's not on the list. All right, can I get a motion to approve the new hires?
Yes, I would like to make a motion to approve the hiring of Taylor Kenrick and Noel Anderson as K-5 teachers, Christopher Jacoby as a 4th grade special education teacher, Valerie Gilbertson as an early childhood special education teacher, Ijeoma Oduna Munaka as a 2nd grade special education teacher, and Mark Formanek as a high school physical education teacher, effective August 24th, 2026 for the 2026-2027 school year.
All right, thank you so much, Director.
I'll second.
Thank you very much, Director Gito. Any discussion? All right, all in favor with aye? Aye. Any opposed? Right. I take it we get an aye from you, Dr. Vita, since you second the motion.
Yes, yes, ma'am.
All right. Motion carries 7-0.
Yeah, I didn't want to do too much of whatever they're making announcements in airports. So yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so welcome to our new teachers for this upcoming school year. We look forward to your success with our district. All right, up next is approval of resignations.
All right. We do have 2 resignations to announce. First resignation is going to be from Kelly Egador, former last name Bishop, from the elementary school position, 5th grade. Resignation was submitted on April 27th of 2026. Reason for resignation is unknown. Last day of service would be June 11th of 2026. Years of service in the district would be 2. Next, we have Tanya Buford from the high school, business marketing teacher. Resignation submitted on May 11th of 2026. Reason for resignation is personal. Last day of service will be June 11th of 2026. Years of service in the district would be 3.
All right. All right, can we get a motion to approve the resignations, please?
I'd like to make a motion to approve the resignation of Kelly Egdorf as an elementary school 5th grade teacher and Tanya Buford as a high school business marketing teacher, effective June 11th, 2026.
Right, is there a second?
Okay.
Sharonda?
Yes, I'll second.
All right, so it has been moved and properly second. Any discussion? Okay. All in favor with aye?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, motion carries for those resignations, 6-0.
Yes, we go.
Oh, he's got his face. Okay, 7-0. All right, thank you to those teachers for your service within the district. We wish you all your best in your future endeavors. And as we always say, once a Falcon, always a Falcon. Okay, up next, we're up to managing finances, facilities, and operations. Our first presentation or report will be from R&I Insurance. And are you T-ing? Is somebody taking them off?
This is Mr. Chris Kramer from R&R. We're up for renewal for our health plan. And he is going to explain the renewal versus another option we asked him to go out and find for us. I've explained it for everyone, just so everyone has that information.
Okay.
And you have a presentation in front of you.
Good afternoon, everyone. For having me again, this is with our insurance. I'm going to briefly go over the things that Whitman and Trina asked me to go over. District goals that they asked us to keep in mind when we were looking at the benefits renewals. A little bit of insight on the healthcare industry, what's going on in the health insurance world. Obviously, your district health plan renewal, the marketing we did, and then the recommendation that was made. Same thing then for the dental plan. And I'll be more than happy to answer any questions that you may have.
Position is right up there. I don't know. It's like that little dot in the window here. Okay.
Yeah, right. Oh, there we go.
You got it? Okay.
So again, Chris Kramer, I'm an employee benefits consultant. I've worked with public educational clients my entire career, from small districts with literally 40 employees to Division I universities such as LSU and absolutely everywhere in between. So I focus primarily on educational clients. Very briefly on our insurance, we are a privately held, fiercely independent insurance agency based in the greater Waukesha area. I like to mention that because we don't have any venture capital invested in us. We're not publicly traded, so we don't have artificially high profit margins we have to meet. Truly dedicated to our clients and what's right by them and their employees. I represent the employee benefit side, but we also have property casualty, workers' comp, retirement planning, and personal lines. As far as the insurances that I represent, we have experts at R&R to handle the things you would expect us to handle. Health insurance, dental insurance, life insurance experts, disability insurance, things of that nature. All internal resources available for our clients. Now, when we first started working with the district was May of 2025, a one-year anniversary working with the district. That very first renewal, it's very clear to us from Trina and Quentin's predecessor to maintain a competitive benefits package that's cost effective for both the district and the employees. Being very mindful that you compete for talent against local districts. Very fierce labor market out there for teachers and staff. Also, we needed to maintain a broad network of providers that people could utilize when they needed care, and as well as maintain that co-pay type health plan design. Fiscal discipline on the benefits was key. If possible, try to improve the health plan design, and I think we did that with this upcoming renewal. When you purchase a health plan, they often come with value-added benefits. Making sure those are maximized by the employees and they actually understand what's available to them. And then periodically review with the district what else is out there. So last summer, we did a presentation with Trina and Quentin on other options that are available, just so they had this information and they knew what to compare your current plan against. So a host of goals that we are asked to keep in mind when looking at the health plan. Now, whether you're a school district or any employer, there are a lot of headwinds facing health plans and employees. For starters, last year, the 4 major carriers across the nation announced that their loss ratios were in the 90s. They generally like to be in the low 80s for their certain profitability reasons. So with that being said, we know in the future, we're expecting increases in the health insurance marketplace. You hear about the GLP-1s, the drugs advertised on TV, that's driving up costs. There's a lot of renegotiation of hospital contracts with the carriers. Basically, they want to be reimbursed more, and the carriers don't want to reimburse them more. Bottom line, there's many different things going on with health insurance that are driving up costs, included in that is chronic conditions. Things like diabetes, hypertension, things of that nature. It utilizes about 90% of the dollars spent on healthcare. And then there are truly amazing things coming through the pipeline. Scientists are working on things such as editing people's genes and DNA to cure certain diseases and ailments. All of these technologies cost money, so they're things that health plans have to be prepared for going forward. And then this is, I thought, was somewhat telling. These are some quotes from some of the nation's largest insurance carriers. That top one for United Healthcare. Our pricing will anticipate higher trends continuing for 2026 and 2027. So again, it's not just school districts, it's all employers are facing the same thing. So with that, we're seeing increases on average between 8 to 12%. And that's just medical inflation, not taking into account some of the other outside factors that are coming into play. So all employers are looking for ways to make it sustainable for the long run. There's a host of different options out there here in Wisconsin. Not all of these are going to be viable for the district, but they're things that we look at with Trina and Quentin, the Human Resources team each year. Now, as a district, you are part of the Wisconsin Counties Association Group Health Trust, the WCA GHT. That was created in 1991. It's only for public sector employers, school districts, counties, cities, villages, quasi-government entities. It is a phenomenal program that currently services over 40,000 belly buttons covered by their healthcare trust. Because of that size, the whole goal of the trust is to smooth out healthcare cost increases. So let's say you're running really well. And if we were to bid you out, maybe we'd get a negative 10% for that first year. Well, the WCA may give you negative 2 or 3%. But the reverse of that, when you have a bad year, and perhaps you're worthy of a 30 or 40% increase, they smooth that out and temper it, and they don't give you as big of an increase. So it's been very successful for the district and other public sector groups that we have as part of the WCA. Now, the WCA, it uses United Healthcare chassis, so to speak. So there's a broad United Healthcare network. So all the major players are in network: Children's, Aurora, Raider, Ascension, ProHealth, so on and so forth. UMR is the administrator of the claims. They're the ones that process the claims and pay the doctors. They're also the ones that the employees call when they have questions on their health plan. And then CVS is the pharmacy benefit manager who handles the prescription drugs behind the scenes. And again, it's a broad national network. Like here in southeastern Wisconsin, it's very hard to be out of network. But then nationally, if you have a child that's going to school in Denver, there's in-network providers there. Where you're taking the family down to Orlando, there's in-network providers across the country. So it's a really nice, robust plan. Now, this is your current plan that you have in place today, and I'll focus on the in-network benefit. It has a $1,000 per person deductible, due for family, for medical type expenses. Once the deductible is satisfied, the insurance plan pays 90% of the claims, the employee pays 10%, until they reach an out-of-pocket max for certain medical expenses to $2,000 and $4,000. But you'll notice below that, you'll see another out-of-pocket max of $4,000 and $8,000. Well, that includes co-pays that people have when they go to the doctor, an office visit or a specialist visit. So with your old plan, when it was put into play, it was kind of designed after the old WA plans where I go see the doctor because I'm sick. I pay a $20 copay at point of service, but then I will get billed the full cost of that visit, and it's applied towards my deductible and out-of-pocket cost. So there are some employees that are saying, hey, I love Brown Deere, but the health plan is costing quite a bit, but I just want to go see the doctor. Also with your plan for prescription drugs, there's copays. I need a prescription, I pay my copay, insurance pays the rest. That, it's not illustrated on here, has a separate out-of-pocket max of an additional $3,000. So a single person, if they had a bad prescription and medical gear, could spend $7,000 out of their own pocket. Oh. Okay. Now, most people won't. I don't want to oversell that, but some people do. So with that in mind, Trina and Quentin said, hey, is there a way to possibly redesign the plan without it costing more? So we'll get to that. Now, your plan is running well. This is current data from, it's a rolling 12 claims from February of 25 through claims paid of April of 26. So for that period, you can see the total premium you've paid in is a little under 3.5 million. But the claims, about 1.9 million for medical and about 455,000 for prescriptions, you're running really well this year. 67% loss ratio, which is great. You didn't always run well. 3 years ago, you were at 150% loss ratio, meaning for every dollar you paid in, the plan paid out $1.50. Okay, so right this year, you're running well. Prescriptions make up about 20% of your claims paid. That's within the norm. Usually we'll see, 15 to 30% of claims paid will be for prescription drugs. So you're right within the norm there. Your enrollment has stayed very stable from an insurance perspective. That's good. Insurance companies don't like to see dramatic ups and downs. It's hard for them to predict future costs. So you're very stable as far as a health plan goes. This just gives you the month by month to month overview. Shows you each month how many people are enrolled, the claims paid for medical and prescriptions, and then they total it up, and then they compare it against the premiums you paid in for that month. So the green is really good. Those are the months where you had low claims. Red, you've actually had more claims than what you paid in. So, but overall, running very well this year. You do have some high cost claimants, as do all plans. Nothing crazy here at all. You have 8 high cost claimants. It would be over 25,000. I know it's blocked by the virtual information there, but we would usually expect for a group your size, at least 20 claims over 25,000. So you're running really well in that perspective. So the renewal itself, your plan renews every July 1st. Again, it's running well. WCA, the Group Health Trust, is designed to protect you. So they were offering for your current plan design a 0%. So a flat renewal. We did go to market to a couple of players that we thought would match up nicely with the United Healthcare type plan that you have today. And we did receive competitive bids from Anthem and Network Health Plan. A few percentage points under current, nice plan designs. So we did go back to WCA and said, look, the district's been with you a number of years now. They've been a loyal customer. There's also a couple more months of claims data that they got in, and you're running well. We said, what can you do there? Can you offer us some alternative plan designs so that there's not a $7,000 out-of-pocket maximum, specifically focused on the office visit? If I take my daughter in to the doctor, can I have a plan where maybe I pay $20 copay, but the rest of the visit does not apply towards the deductible? So they looked at it and they came up with a program that actually reduces the premium and enhances the benefit for this upcoming year. And it's that plan on the far right. This plan has a $1,000 deductible per family, 90-10 split for major medical services, blood work, lab work, x-rays, surgeries. But you'll notice those green highlights, copays for office visits, specialists, and urgent care. And that's what I would pay as an employee. Take my daughter into the clinic, I pay $20. The health plan will pay the rest of that visit. So it'll really save the employees a lot of money on a lot of the common things that they have. This also combines the out-of-pocket max and caps it at $5,000. So we're not going to have we're not going to have a separate medical max and then a separate prescription max that could equal 7,000. The most in-network potential would be 5,000 for an individual. And you'll notice here, I need to walk up, I can't see the exact numbers, but it comes in at about 4.5% under current. So that's around a $150,000 a year savings in gross premium, less than what you're paying today. So it's a great enhancement for the employees. It's a great enhancement for the district, and it'll help attract and retain employees in the future.
Dr. Beadle has a question. He has his hand raised, so. Sorry. Dr. Beadle, if you'd like to ask your question.
Yeah, I was actually looking at the slide before, and when it said that our claims were actually really high, higher than normal, and it was August of 25. So our teachers come back in August. So I was trying to figure out, what would have made it so high at that time, but teachers are just coming back in. Was that something that came back from the summer, and then it moved into like June, July, and then moved into August, or kind of
Yep.
what was? I don't know what was going on with that.
Yep, you hit it right on the head. So teachers and staff are off in summer, so they'll go out in June and July and have stuff done. But then there's always a delay in processing the claim. So then the claims start to hit in August and September. So it's kind of like a lag. I go in July, but the hospital doesn't process the claim and send it to the insurance company until August.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for that explanation. I kind of figured that it had to be because otherwise it made no sense whatsoever.
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah, because it was a bit of a spike in December too, so I figured it was the same.
Yeah. Yep, that happens periodically.
Right, yeah.
Any other questions on the health plan for July 1?
So oh, that's for the dental. I was trying to see how does it impact the premiums then?
Yep, so the gross premiums are lower by 4.5%. So walk up here. Today for a single plan, it's $931 a month. Total premium, right here.
For the district.
The total premium. So this is employee and employer share. So total premium.
Right, so it's, so what will the employees pay per month then?
They pay right now about 12.5, that's a little monthly. So it'll be that reduction of $40 and then 12.5% of that. So I can look it up in screen.
Okay, yeah, because I see the breakdown for the dental, but not for that.
Yeah, so in simple terms, that whatever the district share is and whatever the employee share is, it'll be decreased by 4.5%.
Okay.
Is that so I'm looking at the employee, that number 8928, that is also broken down per pay period, right? Not per,
Yeah.
not per month.
Yeah, so that's the total monthly premium that you would get billed as a district, and then
Yes.
how you guys divvy it up.
Yeah.
Between the district and employee is up to you, and then, yes, the employee share is divided by per paycheck.
Yes.
Yep. Yeah. So the total gross savings is about 150,000 a year for this year. It's nice. You advance this like.
Sure. So you're gonna tell us about the value adds that you got.
Oh, yeah, so with your health plan, there's definitely value adds. So one of them is called Better Health. It is a absolutely phenomenal weight loss program where they give you counseling and nudges, and it's been very successful. We actually have a testimonial from an employee who's allowed us to use her name and her weight loss journey. So we have a communication piece that we're going to be rolling out with the open enrollment. So that'll be phenomenal. And then you also have Teladoc, your plan. So let's say I'm traveling, or I'll use a real world example, my daughter in Iowa, she called us up on a Sunday. My eye is pink. Well, you probably have pink eye. Go in your room, have the Teladoc app, and you can talk with the doctor. Or she then looked at it and right, yep, you have pink eye, wrote her a script, she picked it up at the clinic the next day, never had to leave her apartment. It was no charge. So it saved us money, saved her time. So those are the type of things that we'll communicate at open enrollment. As a side note too, we'll be doing an employee meeting coming up, and I forget the exact date. But we'll do a virtual presentation that everyone can attend. We're going to walk through all the different benefits provided. And then our team also puts together a very comprehensive benefits of enrollment guide. It comes electronically. We can also have paper copies if you wanted. Has a QR code so people can put it on their phone or their tablet, but it has all your eligibility information, has benefit summaries, and then we build in links to all the different value added programs, whether it's Group Health Trust or Delta Dental, that hearing aid discount program, all of that's linked in there. And then towards the last page, we have all the contact information, websites and telephone numbers where people can call if they have questions. But then our concierge service team is the last thing on it. If insurance can be confusing, we speak that language, so call us. That's why we get paid. We want people to call us whenever they have any questions on claims or how do I find a doctor or whatever it might be. So all of that will be part of the open enrollment.
One last question.
Yeah.
I hear
Yep, you have a vision plan. Those rates are locked in through June of 2029.
Thank you.
So then dental. Perfect. So your dental plan renews July 1st as well. You are self-funded for dental, meaning you pay Delta Dental administration fee, they process all the claims, and then when they need to pay the dentist, they access a district account and they pay the dental providers from there. Pretty much all groups your size are self-funded for dental because it makes more sense than being fully insured. Again, locked in based on how well your plan is running. The plan design is up there, has $1,000 annual maximum benefit per covered belly button, no deductible. Preventative care is covered at 100%. If I had like a filling, it's an 80-20 split until my $1,000 benefit is used up, and like 80-20 split for things like crowns and such. The bottom are the premiums. Those are would stay the same for this upcoming year if we didn't enhance the plan. And the reason I say that is there's the $1,000 maximum benefit compared to other districts is on the lower side. About 60% of school districts have a higher maximum benefit. So in talking with Delta Dental, we said, okay, you have this program called Checkup Plus. What would happen if we were to enhance the plan and add Checkup Plus? Bottom line is it would increase the cost by about 4.7%, $7,200 in total for the year. But what that would do is it would maximize that $1,000 benefit, because basically if you go in for your 2 teeth cleanings a year, whatever the cost of that is would not reduce your $1,000 benefit. Today it does. So if I have $1,000 benefit and I get my teeth cleaned twice, let's say that's $400, I only have $600 left to use on other dental stuff. Checkup Plus says, nope, you go in network and get your teeth cleaned. The cost of those in-network teeth cleanings will not reduce the $1,000, and I can use that $1,000 towards a crown or fillings or whatever it might be. So since the health plan is being enhanced at a significant savings, the dental plan for the $7,200 could be greatly enhanced for a very small amount.
That's a great plan, because I go there, that's what happens.
Yep, absolutely. And your dental plan is running well. I did circle all the more reason to have the Checkup Plus is you do have about 10 to 11% of your folks are maxing out their dental benefit today. So by adding the Checkup Plus, it'll help them afford more of their dental care needs. And it, as I mentioned, your dental plan is running well. Oh, this just shows how people are using it. So half of the claims are going to be for your preventative exams, which is awesome. We want people to keep doing that. But then you see the other half is for dental work.
We have a question from Dr. Vito.
Sure.
Okay, I guess my question, I don't know, I might be jumping forward. Since we have been able to lower the number of claims and everything else like that, is it possible for us to potentially lock in for a 1, 2, or 3 year bid? Of course, with enhancements of price increases just because of inflation or whatever have you. But is it possible for us to be able to use this good record that we have right now and lock in at a lower premium for like the next 1, 2, or 3 years?
So from the health insurance perspective?
Yes, for the health, vision, and dental.
So the dental, no, just because you're self-funded and claims are claims, so you can't really control the claim aspect of it. The monthly administration fee is locked in, and we could definitely ask if they're willing to extend that even further. I do know, as an aside, and I know dental's a smaller piece of the overall pie, but the dental companies are really facing significant increases in their costs because there's a big shortage of dentists. A lot of dentists are retiring, and there's not enough people filling their seats. So we're starting to see dental inflation be about 5%, which I know isn't much compared to healthcare, but it used to be 1%, 2% tops. So we'll ask the question and find out if they would be willing to at least do that. The health side, I know the trust, we've asked that before and they have told us no, because again, they're looking at the overall longevity of the trust. Their whole goal is to keep things as smooth as possible. So they're gonna wanna see year to year how claims are going. And again, the trust is designed to protect even those bad years. So in talking with a member of the trust, she said in the last 17 or 18 years, she has not seen an increase over 20, I want to say 21%, which are like, wow, 21% is a lot. It is, but there are many groups that are run very poorly that actuarially should be getting a 50, 60, 70% increase. If you look just at their claims. So the whole purpose of the trust and working with all those other public entities is to try to smooth things out.
Are there any programs to kind of help people to kind of help them so that they are aware of where they are and that they can kind of manage their healthcare and mental costs? You know, because sometimes, you know, things happen and you just like, okay, you end up with cancer or whatever, you can't help it. But sometimes there can be some preventative things, and I'm just maybe prostate checks or colon checks or whatever. Is there a program that pretty much encourages preventative?
Yep. So that's one of the things that we talked about over the summer was in future years, maybe we explore adding wellness type initiatives to this. So I'll give you an example. I have a school district where they said, okay, if you go out and get your annual physical and you get the biometric screening associated with it, regardless of the results, we want you to go and identify your risk factors. We as a district will continue to pay, 87.5% of your premium. If you choose not to do that, so be it, but then we're going to pay 82.5% of the premium. Right. And it doesn't cost you as a district anymore, but it also is incenting people. Please go out and find out what your risk factors are so you can nip them in the bud before they get out of control. So there's definitely things like that. Absolutely.
Okay, good.
Yeah. And we've started exploring that with Quentin and Trina. Yeah.
Good, great.
And then this is just, again, the last slide with financial of your self-funded plan. That 99% means it's funded perfect. You're putting enough aside for the plan to cover the claims. Other questions?
Thank you so much.
If there's other information you guys need, please reach out to Quentin and Trina. Send them an email, let me know, and we'll gather more information for you. So, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Great. Great presentation. Thank you for that very helpful information. Up next is the food service annual report. Is that Mr. Paul or who? They were hiding in the corner.
Yeah, I didn't even see her.
I was like, what is that?
You should click it. It should work.
Sounds good. Okay, we'll start with a quick introduction. Thanks for having us. I am Molly Janata, our district manager for Aramark. So I've been around with our contract since we started here. So I know many of you, not all of you, but I'm happy to be here and thanks for having us.
Okay, I am new to the district as of December. I'm very excited to be here. I formerly taught in Lake High School, so I'm kind of implementing what I learned there into here. I've been with Aramark for almost 4.5 years now. So, and then formerly I've been in a bakery for 10 plus years. And then I was ready to kind of switch it up, and here I am at Earmark, so, yeah.
So we're gonna do, again, quick introduction. We'll take a look at our program at a glance, just kind of some quick facts from the school year and some numbers that'll be helpful for everyone to understand. We will also highlight some of the fun things we've done this school year. And then we will do kind of a preview of what's upcoming for the 26-27 school year. And then we will also do some USDA updates to talk about some changes that are coming with our regulations.
Sleeps. Just kind of overview on the program. We've been bringing in roughly an average of 579 meals per day. That's roughly about a 35% participation rate as far as breakfast goes. Lunch, we're bringing about 895 average meals per day. So that's a little bit higher at a 54% participation rate. And roughly about 490 a la carte dollars daily. Running the numbers for the totals year to date, breakfast, we brought in 87,000, lunch, 136,000. And then overview on the financial impact for the December lunches that the district covered, that is 16,000. And then commodity, I'll be kind of explain.
Yeah. Yep. So, and then just a quick comment on the December lunches. I know that was something that was asked to be covered and talked about. I will say that the $16,000 covers what the district did not collect in revenue from students. So students who would have been at a paid or reduced status for those lunches. Of course, the students that already had the free eligibility, we did not include in that, but the $16,000 represents what the district essentially did not collect in as revenue for those meals that would have been payments. And then it doesn't include essentially the costs that are affiliated with those meals. So what it took from like a food, labor, expense perspective to actually serve them. So I just sort of wanted to make that kind of clear when we think about the financial impact there. And then from a commodity entitlement perspective, one of the things or one of the sort of benefits of the being part of the National School Lunch Program is essentially a planned assistance level or commodity entitlement that the district is allocated every single school year. And that is based on the amount of lunches served in the previous full school year before the current, if that makes sense. So it's usually about 30 cents per lunch meal that was claimed by the school district is how much essentially that allocation, how they determine that. So again, just over that $69,000 for current school year. And then we already have placed essentially the order for next school year. We always do it in sort of like March of the current year for the upcoming year. And that's how the DPI and the USDA kind of regulate that. But essentially that's almost like a gift card from the USDA that is allocated to the school district around year. And then we take those dollars and spend them in various ways. Some of it goes to fresh fruits and vegetables. Others of it goes to various manufacturers that make the food that we serve. So chicken products, dairy products, various manufacturers that again, the district sort of gets that money back as we order in various food items. So it's kind of the most bang for the buck and the highest quality products that we're able to order for the school district. So essentially that helps lower the food costs throughout the year as we spend that, again, roughly $70,000. One of the things that we like to highlight, within our role here is really gathering feedback from students, from principals. It's something that's really important to us. So every year in the spring, we run we call our student viewpoint survey. So we did receive 365 responses this year. That stays open for about 6 weeks or so. And the goal at the secondary levels is really to target the students to participate. And then of course, in the elementary level, we would love to see, parents participating and answering those questions on behalf of their children. And then we also do a principal survey. So we encourage any, and all principals, whether it's an assistant principal, anybody who's involved kind of from an oversight of each building perspective to answer an array of questions that help us understand how they feel school and food service is going, within their building. So Again, we had all principals participate that were given the survey. We received a 94% overall rating, which is great. And then one of the questions is whether or not they would recommend Aramark from a food service perspective, and we had 100% response to that as well. So again, it's always important to us to kind of gather that feedback. And then actually Quentin also receives a survey, and I believe Dr. Cotton as well, to, again, from when you think about kind of stakeholders within the contract perspective, board members are also able to take that survey as well. But it's kind of at again, that client connection level to, again, give us that feedback in terms of how you feel things are going within the school district. Any questions on any of that or anything you've covered so far?
Yeah, what were the results of the survey?
Yeah, the student viewpoint survey? Yeah. Is there a next slide that gives us some of the details on that? I think we highlighted, otherwise I can stick to them too.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is kind of like an AI summary, if you will, where students are able to give feedback again on. So it was a 19% participation, which was around I think it was 365 responses. And actually Morgan can also kind of like an open comment area where we can see where kids can kind of type in their feedback and things like that. I think it was a 7% or 7 out of 10 rating overall in the upper left-hand corner that you can see there, which is actually really good in the grand scheme of things. When we think about kind of the overall rating from the students or from the parents perspective survey, there's always, there's questions around communication, how students and parents in the community want to hear from us in terms of, what's on the menu, what's happening in food service type of thing. There's always some comments around variety, freshness, that kind of stuff. And again, with the students being able to kind of have an open comment section, sometimes they type in suggestions in terms of menu items they want to see, things like that. Is there anything else that stuck out to you in the survey that you wanted to highlight?
Just seasonings.
Yeah, seasonings and
There's
food
seasonings,
and
so we can definitely incorporate seasonings into the
flavor
food
station.
without salt.
Yeah.
So that's kind of a goal for next year and fun, like French fry topping station. So
Nice.
other than that, really, decent feedback from the kids. So
The more feedback, the better. And honestly, close to that 20% participation. Our goal is 10%. So to have almost 20% is awesome because the more feedback, the better. So, and then this is also kind of a quick overview. I think I mentioned a little bit of the principal's pulse survey. Number of responses. I think I covered most of this already, but we started that. I think it's the second school year we've done that. So,
and then I just kind of added a few things as far as the student nutrition program, kind of the layout of for schools, some things that I'm implementing, some stuff that I've kind of learned along the way. I find that it's really helpful to have those fresh fruits and vegetables and milk readily accessible at the registers to kind of help the lines move quicker and also guarantee that we are capturing all those meals rather than sending kids back to grab something when they're missing a component and we miss out on those meals. So those have been added to the register at all 3 schools. But also tried to incorporate some more like cold or fresh options. I've been hearing was also some feedback, kind of less like sugary things and, waffles and donuts. So I've been trying to incorporate some string cheese, some juice, some yogurt, and we'll also try to incorporate some smoothies next year. We added a few stanchions to the lines just to kind of improve the flow, as well as kind of corral kids and also added a breakfast cart at the high school. We have a second chance breakfast. So kids, if they're running late, they can grab a breakfast. We also implemented a small cart as well at the middle school for kids to grab breakfast. So we're not missing those meals. And then we're also, I've been working with the school nurse, providing some fresh produce with those DoD funds that we've been allocated. So for kids that are hungry or if they have a stomach ache, we have fresh apples, things to go around the district for those kids. So that's just kind of an overview there.
And that's great for them.
Yes. Yep. And then some other things I've been kind of working on is a little more parent communication and guardian communication. So I've been working with Caitlin on getting some stuff on the website, as well as utilizing the platform, the Parent Square, sending out newsletters every month with what's on the menu, as well as kind of a resource guide for parents. I know that was kind of one big thing that was lacking when I came in, how to see their transactions, how to log in, how to pay, kind of where the dollars are at for what the kids are spending, just creating those resources and sending out those monthly, also kind of trying to see some movement on getting some of those negative balances taken care of. And then also just, a brief page on how to apply for the program if anyone is interested or there is a lapse in their application. So all those resources have been going out to parents and students via Parent Square.
So question for you. just kind of looking at some of the options that you have there in terms of communication.
Yeah.
Do you have a system that allows a parent to see what a child purchased?
Yeah, that would be all through Skyward and then next year, Infinite Campus. Yeah, so those resources are on there for them to be, and I've also been with Quentin, we go back and forth on, just getting copies out to parents as they reach out to us too. But that's definitely something I want to work on in the future, is making sure that all that stuff is more readily accessible for the parents. That seems to be a little bit of a struggle for them right now, is, how to put funds on their account and see the transactions, because they get hit with a bill or a call, but they don't know what they're paying for. So that's something that we're working towards. Yes. Yeah.
It adds up quick.
It adds quick, yes. And then I just kind of included some pictures on things that we've been doing. Kind of the chef events and some LTOs, so the limited times offers. Those we've been putting on the menu. Those go out monthly to decrease food fatigue. So they're something fresh, something new, created by a chef, and put it on the menu. And then we also did some sampling of Anthony over at Bayside.
North Shore Consortium.
North Shore Consortium. There's 24 chefs that submit some recipes, 9 get picked. So we have a little local celebrity. He's one of his recipes got picked. It's a bruschetta chicken flatbread. So that's going to be on our menu next month or this month for the kids. So that's kind of just an overview. And then obviously some cookies and desserts that I helped with. So if anyone ever needs desserts, come and see me. The money goes back to the district. So
So are those chips and tater tots?
yeah, that was
Yeah.
one of the LTOs for the month. I think it was like a cheeseburger.
Yeah, pickled queso cheeseburger nachos.
Yeah,
Yeah,
a mouthful.
so they're whole grain chips and baked tater tots,
Yeah.
just for clarity.
Yep.
In terms of compliance. And then actually, yeah, so this page is the limited time offer items, and kind of highlighted some of the high pick months. So every month there is a limited time offer on the menu. So yeah, the cheeseburger nachos, you can see there kind of in the right, at least my right hand side of pictures. Every month there is, I always when you go to a restaurant, there's a feature, there's a special, or whatever the case is. Again, these are designed by chefs that support specifically student nutrition. So recipes that are compliant with National School Lunch Program guidelines. Again, things that are kind of food trends, spicy, that's something that's sweet and spicy has been a popular one. I know the hot honey gochujang chicken sandwich, has always been a popular one too. So we provided some of the counts on some of the most recent features, where we, kids were excited about what was being served and the amount of servings we served across the various grade levels. So again, the idea here is really just to kind of break up the monotony, get them excited about something different. On the menu, I would say one of our exciting ones also is this waffle laco. So that this is kind of the second iteration of a waffle laco, which is exactly what it sounds like. So it's actually an Aramark trademarked waffle that's folded into a taco and served in various ways. So this one was the buffalo bacon cheddar. And then there's also one on the menu for next year as well. So again, just things for kids to get excited about. If they're really popular, we can end up putting them on the menu like permanently for the future months and things like that. So these are sort of the items too that we like to try to sample ahead of time so that kids are get excited about trying something different.
I wonder what was offered in March.
What was that?
I wonder what was
It-
offered in March.
It was the sweet heat chorizo empanada. Yep. Yeah, so it's actually like dough that is then like essentially glazed with like cinnamon sugar. And also like, it's a little bit like spicy. I forget what else is on there.
There was like some sort of like high.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sweet.
That looked like a fan favorite.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I wonder what was offered in April, because
So then April was the buffalo cheddar waffle laco.
Mhm. They didn't
Yeah.
like that, don't they?
Yeah, not as popular, but also sometimes it's just a matter of like, if something else is really good on the menu that day and they like, it's their favorite, they don't necessarily want to try something new.
Yeah.
So sometimes it's always like what we call it, like what it's up against, like, you're looking at a menu, it's like, oh, it sounds good, but I'm gonna stick with my regular type thing. So sometimes it's that too, that kind of can work against us sometimes, but again, the idea is really just to offer kind of that something different. The kids can get excited.
And it gets them to try something new, and also like there's healthy components to it.
Yep.
And they don't even know it. So.
Yeah.
Is this offered in the elementary or just the middle high school?
Currently, right now, just
Just
the
a sec-
middle
yeah,
and
okay,
high school.
secondary.
I would definitely love to explore the options for more things at the elementary.
Yeah.
Just have to kind of figure out how to do it.
Yeah, and sometimes we have, especially at the elementary level, kids that are less likely or like willing to try something new. But it's something we could think about for next year.
And most of our elementary stuff, so get excited for new things. So yeah, definitely something that I'd be
They gotta be pretty adventurous though to have tater tots with tortilla chips.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, it's different.
They love spicy food.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then this is just kind of some Airmark community building that we've been doing. Recently, we've been involved with Feeding America, helping them sort and pack food. So those are things that we kind of do on our time.
Yeah, yep, so Airmark Building Community, we call it ABC Day, but it's something, at least one day a year as a team that we sort of set aside to, volunteer within the community. We know that food insecurity, is a real problem. So this happens to be the, feeding bank for Eastern America, down in Milwaukee that we have volunteered at now, multiple times. And again, the food goes out, then to, various, opportunities to feed families. So, we're always looking to give back to the community.
And then just kind of threw some photos in for caterings that we've done since I've been here. The most recent one that was really fun was an after-school program at the elementary school. The kids got to build their own pizzas. They had, I want to say, like 15 different toppings to choose from. So it got them to try something new, like pineapple or bacon or something funky on their pizza. The kids had a really good time with that. Just kind of an overview on things, what to look for next year.
Yeah, so these are the limited time offers, we were just talking about. So the upcoming waffle laco that I was referencing is the Chipotle Ranch Chorizo waffle laco. So these are in order September through May of next year, what the students have to look forward to, just from a specials perspective. We also have some great upcoming new menu items as well,
I
but
saw that bang bang chicken. I'll have to come.
what's,
The bang bang chicken.
yeah. Well, we're always happy to bring samples to whether it's a school board meeting or whatever the case is. So don't hesitate to ask. You know how to find Morgan.
Yes.
So these options are available to any kids free.
Yep.
Yeah, or full.
Yes. Yeah.
And then
All of our menu items are, there aren't like stations or items that are not available based on eligibility. It's the same offerings regardless of the status. It's just rung in to their account, based on their eligibility, but their menu items are all the same.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then what do you do with kids have a balance?
Like a negative balance? Is there a point at which they don't eat or they always eat no matter how high their balance?
Yeah. So far the goal is just to feed the kids and then putting there kind of working on where to go from there.
Yes.
And then Molly will tell you on kind of some
Yeah.
upcoming USDA.
Yep, so part of our job as a food service partner is to monitor what's going on from a USDA compliance perspective. We're in a very compliance driven industry, just as you are in education. So starting with actually last school year, there was an additional reduction in added sugars, and the amount of added sugars that could be sort of in the total weekly meals that we offer. And then also a shift in flavored milk and the amount of added sugars in that. So that was sort of one recent change that occurred heading into this school year. There were no additional changes that we have to make as we look at our menus for the upcoming fall. We've sort of already made those changes in the current year. And then looking ahead to fall 2027. So we are a year out now, but we are already working to ensure that we will be compliant. So there's an additional added sugar reduction, which is, something we would call somewhat significant. So no more than 10% of the weekly calories from an added sugar can come from added sugars essentially. And then similar reduction from a sodium perspective. So 10% reduction for breakfast items and then 15% reduction for lunch. So you can imagine, we mentioned earlier about like flavors and seasonings and getting the food to still have, that flavor that students are looking for. We will be, up against additional barriers when we think about what's coming down from a USDA perspective. One of the things that we are excited about You can see it sort of highlighted in the lower right-hand corner here, that is really above and beyond, what is being asked currently is that our 26-27 school year menus, for the students next year are free from artificial food dyes, and most common state banned ingredients. So, there are various states, across the country that are already banning, it's a list of like, I think it's 16 additives essentially. Wisconsin is not one of them, but Aramark has chosen to ban, essentially rid our menus of sort of those additives, again, heading into next school year. So there's a lot of kind of a behind the scenes work that has gone into this. Again, it's not required for next year from a USDA perspective, but we believe that heading into that kind of future school year, the 2027 year, it's very possible that that may be the way things are headed. So we're sort of looking to future-proof our menus and kind of get ahead of the curve in terms of working with our partners to ensure what we're doing is compliant to be in line with that. And then one other update was from a whole milk perspective. So as of, I think it was in March of this year, we are technically allowed to offer whole milk in schools, which is new. Again, as the last couple months. So we haven't had a high demand for it, but we can offer it. And so it's something that as we think about for next school year, if students are interested, it's something that, again, we already have 3 different milks that we offer on a daily basis. We could add whole milk if that's something students are interested in. In the past, it was not compliant, but as of 2 months ago, it is. So again, just a kind of a quick high level overview. There's a lot of things happening from a USDA perspective, and just wanted to share, how in touch we are with being proactive to ensure what we're menuing and serving is compliant and actually at this point exceeding guidelines.
So I know that we can offer whole milk.
Yeah.
Do you think that we will?
It's really from like a student demand perspective.
Elementary, I've got that they seem really interested.
Yeah.
So yeah, we could start at the elementary level and just see how it goes.
Yes,
But
we can always bring it in.
Wise, it's not much different.
Yeah.
So
We can always
We offer like oat milk or almond milk.
We can if it's a student allergen or like if the students require it essentially from a medical form perspective essentially. So otherwise we would just offer those standard milk options. Milk is not required from a meal perspective. So we are required to offer it, but students don't have to take it. So if they are lactose intolerant or don't like milk or whatever the case, they don't have to take it. We do have to have a form on file for the DPI if there needs to be an accommodation. So like for a food allergy or insensitivity, lactose intolerance, whatever the case is, we have to have that on file per the DPI. And then we can offer then a milk alternative such as, whether it's lactose free milk or oat milk or almond, things like that.
Okay,
We
yeah.
don't just offer it like as an extra. We would only offer it if there's like essentially an accommodation request.
Yeah, I would think that there would be more of a desire like that than for whole milk.
Sure.
But-
Right.
Yeah, and it's again, that's something that we technically, again, per the DPI, we're only to offer it if there is essentially an accommodation request on file, which again, then we're more than happy to. It's a really simple form. It's posted on a district website to be filled out. But we don't just stock those items unless there's again like a request to do so. Yep. Any other questions on that slide? Oh, I think that was it. Okay. Anything else that we didn't cover that you have questions about or that you want to hear about?
oh, I'd love to taste some of your items.
Okay.
Let's do it.
The limited time offers, or again, if there's something on the menu that looks exciting, Quentin knows how to find Morgan, so we're always happy to bring samples. I know that anybody who's in the district really probably has had caterings by Morgan or Aramark in general, so I'm always happy to assist with that.
So basically what you're saying is we need to take a look at the menu and place an order for a board meeting.
There you go.
We can do that. Let's do that.
We're happy to sponsor an upcoming board meeting, so let us know what you'd like, and maybe if it ends up in the fall.
Wait a minute, I was saying pay for it. You said
We're happy, to, especially if it's samples.
Say like.
Yeah, of course.
Great presentation too.
Thank you.
Two at the back.
All right, so thank you all so very much. So our next item, do we have, is Dr. Vito still on?
He's not, he had.
Okay.
It's fine.
All right, so our next item is approval of
Contract.
Job at 6:48.
okay.
Or 6:46, I apologize here, the whole thing. 6:46.
Yeah, I was trying to check, but since we couldn't see the presentation, I wasn't sure. Approval of the 26-27 food service management company contract.
I'd like to make a motion to approve the.
Hold on.
Oh,
Good.
Oh, you gotta.
Yeah. No, that's
Yeah, exactly.
26-27 school year is the second of 4 potential renewals with Airmark. As seen in the attached amendment, Airmark is requesting a 3% increase for its management administrative fees per meal, which is the maximum allowed by DPI and the USDA. Administration recommends renewing the Airmark contract for 26-27.
Okay. And then just one question I have, I don't know if I saw that or not. Where are we in terms of like that 4-year window?
We're in year two.
Yep, this is gonna
We're in
second
year
renewal.
two, so.
Okay.
We can renew up to 4 times before we have to go back to RFP and then do the process over.
Okay. All right. Can I get a motion?
Sure, Madam Chair. I'd like to make a motion to approve the Airmark as the school district of Brown Deer Food Service Management Company for the 2026-27 school year as presented tonight.
All right, is there a second? Second. Hey, it has been moved and properly seconded. Any other points of discussion for this? All right, hearing none. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? And motion carries 6-0. So thank you all very much for your continued great service that you provide to our district.
Thank you.
All right, next item is approval of district depositories for 26-27. Mr. Paul.
So the following on this executive summary is a list of public depositories the district currently uses for checking, savings, investments, and debt service accounts. The district is requesting authorization to utilize depositories during the 26-27 fiscal year to receive funds electronically and through another medium. The type of accounts that may be established at these institutions are also listed, but not necessarily limited to those listed. There are no changes in the list of depositories approved from 25-26 school year. For our US Bank, BMO, Tri-City Bank, and PMA WISC accounts.
Okay, there's an error on the sheet, so it should be 26-27 school year. Maybe 26-27 school year.
Yeah, not 26-7.
But it's 40 years in, right?
My goodness. All right. Can I get a motion, please?
Director Robinson, I'd like to make a motion to approve the list of depositories for the 2026-27 school year. As
Right, and a second? I'll second. Right, it has been moved and properly second. Any further discussion on this one? Hearing none. All in favor with aye? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries 6-0. Thank you, Mr. Ball. Up next is fostering academic accountability with portrait of graduate. That's Dr. Glass.
Good evening, members of the board. Tonight I'll be talking about the Portraits of a Graduate, which is a Wisconsin's initiative. I'll update you on what it is and how far we are in the process. Specifically, the Portrait of a Graduate is an initiative that defines essential skills, knowledge, and characteristics that students need to be successful after high school. Okay.
All right, and tonight, information update will align with student learning and success. When it comes to the portrait of a graduate, what it does is it gives a shared vision of what we desire our students to look like, sound like, and be like once they graduate from the school district of Brown Deer. It helps us to be consistent across the district and know exactly what we want that to be. Secondly, it aligns with the state of Wisconsin E4E program. E4E is an acronym for Education for Employment Framework. And basically, it transcends a little bit past the academic cue and again goes into mindset, characteristics, and those types of things. Next, it addresses the whole learner. It gives them communication skills, collaboration skills, and helps them to be critical thinkers. Why does this matter? Broadly, it builds a foundation for lifelong success. So, like, regardless of where our students choose to go, whether that's military, secondary, post-secondary, college, CTE, trades, or just in the general workforce, they will need the skills that is a part of the portrait of a graduate. Particularly for students, students will benefit from being college and career ready. And it is whole child focused. It's not just around test scores. Again, it teaches them to be communicative, resilient, and how to be collaborative. When it comes to teachers, having this particular framework helps them to know what they should be teaching coherently and consistently across the district. It gives them shared language and it gives them clear benchmarks that applies to every student at each grade level. So what have we done so far? This year, well, partly last year and this year, we have developed a framework for Portrait of a Graduate. We started that work by first researching what are some key skills that students need in this day and time, right? What is futuristic thinking that we need to have in order to prepare them? Once we researched that, we did formulate a survey. We started sending that survey out last year. We resent it at least 3 times this year. Even with all of our efforts, we only have 130 participants.
So you sent it to the parents?
We sent it to everybody. We sent it to the board. We sent it to the parents. We sent it to the students. We sent it to teachers. Our goal was to hit every stakeholder so that they can have voice in what we want our students to look like. So that pretty much encompasses all of this. Staff engagement as well as stakeholder input. So where are we now? Based on your feedback tonight, I'm sort of at a crossroad, right? With 130 participants in that survey, do we capture what they have given us, which is it's good, or do we put another deadline with a raffle ticket or something? I'm not sure. We worked through emails, school bulletins. Ms. Bradstatter has helped me through Parent Square. Yet we have 130 participants. If we are okay with moving on with that, what will happen is I will look at the team that I'm working with. We will look at the characteristics that parents and students, teachers, stakeholders voted on, and we will take those characteristics and align them with what we call I can statements. So for example, if we have digital citizenship, what does that look like for a K-4 student versus a K-5 student onward to a 12th grade student? So we already have those I can students, those I can statements aligned to every single characteristic. So when it comes to someone being resilient, when it comes to someone being communicative, we have what that would look like across those grade bands. So based upon that data, we will take take those characteristics and those I can statements and begin a professional development plan for the staff so that they can know what that looks like and sounds like. And then within that, we'll take that information, prepare a proposal for the board, discuss it a little bit more with you, get your input and your feedback, and we'll vote on what a portrait of a graduate looks like for the school district of Brown Deer. Okay.
I have a question.
Any
So when you launched the first survey, at what time, point in the year did you, send it out?
The initial one was in January
Okay.
of last year, so 2025 January.
Because I was wondering, when you said it, I'm wondering if it might be, and I don't know if it'll work or not.
Sure.
But when you had the parents come in at the start of the school year, right?
Mhm.
And they're all excited about the school year, and you've got them signing this and doing that and all of that. Maybe that would be the time that you may wanna introduce the survey again. Just because you'll have a captive excited. The kids will be, starting school and sort of thing, right? So, I don't know, just an idea. That's
Yeah.
all.
We do have, thank you for that feedback. We do have some other open campus and some presentations that's happening. Friday we'll have the events at BDE, and then we also have like an academic night that's happening this week at the middle school. While I acknowledge that feedback, we're trying to get it done, and have you guys approve it at the end of this school year because it is a
I
state
think I saw
initiative.
that. Yep.
So we are trying to approve it this year.
Can you put it on the link, like for Skyward or whatever the parents need to do the next field trip, everything that require parents to do something for their kids, like, for teachers at the next PD, like, get this done and then meet us at PD at 8:15,
Yes, Ms. Bernstatter is saying that we can do that.
So my thing is that as we get to the end of the school year, because I'm seeing it too,
Sure.
people are burnt out, they're so tired of us.
Yeah.
Like, they're so tired of showing us stuff, they're so tired of. Yeah.
And highlight
I know,
that day. Like I got the survey, I didn't know that I was supposed to do it because I'm a board member until I was told I was supposed to, but I had already missed that May 1. So when I looked at it to see what the day was, I was like, oh, it should have had a highlight on it. That would be nice, just highlight there.
Yeah, and adults are only gonna do what adults are required to do. And so what I found is you put it out, then you follow it up, and then you start making individual phone calls. You finish this? For, not you, but whoever their supervisor is. So if you supervise people or you are,
Sure.
that's how it goes. And then parent will do whatever is required for our kids to do the next thing.
Absolutely.
Or even if you maybe position it for those graduating students to say, for their families and say, what you find helpful for your student? Can you help us complete this survey so that we'll know how we can continue to build our program going forward?
Make it an exit ticket.
Do we get anything from the students participate what they think they need? Do we like the seniors or maybe even the graduates, what they feel like,
Well, this survey was sent to all students. I can do another launch for, yes, ma'am. Every student. So I can do a relaunch for seniors to get that feedback. Absolutely.
Yeah, I looked at Katie and I said, can we extract it, just that class,
Population.
2026, and we can.
Yeah, that's an easy.
Is it anonymous or is it tied to their, so when a teacher fills it out, is it like an anonymous or is it tied to their email?
I do capture emails because that lets me know, like, if I'm sending it out again, that I'm not sending it to the same people.
I gotta be really honest with you.
Yes.
I didn't fill it out because I didn't see it.
I was thinking the same thing.
When you said that you didn't see it,
I don't. Oh, I didn't. Jeez. I
Yeah.
thought, go
I sent them out myself. So,
Okay.
yeah.
Sorry.
Sorry.
So we can still.
Was May first.
Absolutely. Thank you for being honest, because then I could be honest. It's exactly what I said. So good. I'm glad that we're the only three in the room who didn't get it.
We probably did.
Wait, who didn't?
Like, I got it. Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm really sorry.
All right. So thank you. If there is no other questions or further discussion, that is the information and the update for the portrait of graduate.
Very good, thank you. Okay, our next item up is our communications update.
She's got silent to share. Keep moving. Yeah. Yeah, all of that, that's one.
So this is just an overall general communications update for some of the largest projects that we have going on right now inside of the district in terms of communications, marketing, talk around, obviously the referendum community survey that made its way through the village. So this isn't everything, of course, but this is kind of an overall picture of some of our big ones. So this is probably our biggest one. So a little survey update for everyone. So the survey was first sent to staff before it was sent to families, before it was sent to community members. This way our staff is in the know. We never want our staff to feel blindsided or like they don't have a voice and say what happens inside of their own district. But also when talking with School Perceptions, who of course crafted this survey with us, they made really good points about, right, if everyone got it at the same time, or even if staff, got it late in the mail or stuff like that, we don't want a parent to bump into somebody at Pick and Save and say, oh, Miss Smith, I have questions on the survey about what's happening at the elementary school. And then Miss Smith has absolutely no idea what's going on because they haven't received it yet. So it was specifically sent to staff early. So they had some time to review it, read up on it, take in the information themselves before it was just kind of sent out to everybody. Shortly after that, it started making its way to people in the village around April 13th. That is when it was starting to land in mailboxes, and that is when all families, including our OE families, they got the opportunity to fill it out too, because of course their kids go here. So their input matters for what projects might be tackled in a potential referendum, even if they're the ones who aren't voting. So it was asked if the survey was completed by May 1. However, it technically is still open. And that will remain open until they present the final results to the board on May 26th. So for anyone who maybe didn't get theirs in the mail, or they had special circumstances, for example, we had one couple who came into the office because her and her husband wanted to fill it out separately because they had different opinions. Perfectly fine. We have additional copies so we can accommodate situations where maybe multiple people in the household, they don't agree, stuff like that. Or someone could also email me as well if they don't want to come in and get a physical one. I have a whole list of spare codes that I can send out digitally for anyone who might need anything else. So some just key participation details. Like I've already said, all the district families received an email link. They also got multiple reminders. Staff also got multiple reminders. And then only one survey per person. So maybe separate households, but one survey per person. So also one of our main projects in April was an identity video with Performance Services. So School Perceptions was the survey, and then Performance Services, that is kind of our overall referendum partner. So the project goal was to develop an identity video. We ended up calling it the Brown Deer Story, to help tell the narrative of the district, what makes us special, what makes us strong, what makes us unique. So we had a lot of community voices in there. So it had 8 interviews. It was an all-day filming day. We had staff, students, community members, parents, and then district leadership as well. And they were able to talk about, the students mentioned their favorite classes or what They think about our rigor or our extracurriculars or their favorite staff members. Community members talked about events. We had also retirees who were featured. Mr. Lecrae, for those of you who are familiar with Mr. Lecrae, he was great and came in. So it was a really, really special project, and it was really beautiful to hear all the positive things that people have to say about the district for whatever role that they have here in the School District Brown Deer. We really wanted to capture the excellence. So not only is there sit down, interview footage, but there's also a lot of B-roll. So we went into the tech ed department, we went into art rooms, we watched our drumline rehearse, we watched math lessons at BDE with our third graders and also our fourth graders. We have all sorts of footage to highlight different things going on in the district so that when you watch the video in its entirety, you see the interviews, but then you also get a more engaging visual as well. So it's not just someone talking at the camera the whole time. So then timelines. So the video is complete. And so we will be launching it. Okay, two parts. So we will be premiering it. Honestly, we have it planned out for sometime in June. However, it will be featured in the Brown Deer magazine, a QR code with a description of it and who is in the video. That is in the August for the summer issue. And then also kind of relaunching it kind of back to school time. So people are getting excited. Maybe you're new to the district, or maybe just kind of building energy around that Welcome Back week, especially with bringing back the Welcome Back Bash that we kind of started last year, just to create some energy and some buzz around the district and helping to shape the narrative of who we are. Referendum aside, it also just is good for us to have as a tool to express our talents and our uniqueness and our strength as a school community. And then also targeted mailing. So one of the things that we also were working on was targeting some of our open enroll out kids in the district who maybe they used to go here and don't go here anymore, or maybe they just never came here as a whole. So we sent out targeted mailing postcards to kind of reintroduce ourselves. A lot of things have maybe changed since someone sent their kids here. So it was targeted. So we looked at a list of all of our open enroll out students, the ones who were removed for disciplinary purposes, or maybe they have a special ed circumstance. They weren't included in the mailing, but everybody else was. It was about 200 families who got a postcard, and it says welcome back Falcons. There's no place like home. So it helps to re-enroll and rediscover what we have going on in the district if you have not been familiar with it in a while. The goal is to just re-educate the village, even if you're not from here, or even if you don't send your students here, but you live here, especially again with that potential referendum coming up. It's a great way to target people who maybe have also a negative impression. Maybe they left us for whatever reason. It's a way to just kind of say hello again, let them know we're still here.
I like that.
Thank you.
Well, that was in response to what are we doing to try to regain and recapture students? So that was our target.
And then also looking ahead to graduation. So you might not think of it right off the top of your head as a big communication event, but it is, because it is when we have actually the most people here. It's a really good way to introduce what we have to a lot of different people, whether you live in the village or whether you're someone's aunt, or you're just visiting, maybe you're a friend or whoever you could be attending graduation. So everything from the programs to the tickets, yard signs, the slideshow that plays, in the beginning, where all the kids get to share where they're going. There's a lot of time and a lot of thought and energy that goes into the design and the message and the theme of it all. So it's all cohesive. So that's just something that's really obviously big in the planning stages right now, with getting quotes and printing and all that kind of logistical stuff as we gear up for the end of the school year. But it's a very exciting time. It's a great way to show off our kids and what we have going on. Our program does a beautiful way of showing all the activities that our kids participate in, everything from sports to, we're also adding travel this year. So for our students who have traveled internationally with Miss Radke, they will also be honored this year at graduation. They have cords, and it will also have their own logo now. So that's a fun thing to include so they get recognized as well. So I kind of just threw a lot at you. I'm trying to make it digestible, but also not take up too much of your time. But those are kind of the big overarching projects that we have going on along with our day-to-day stuff.
So one question that I ask every year, for the graduation, will we have one more group that we let in after the students march in?
That is not a decision that is up to me. That is typically up to administration. Last year, I believe we did. The students walked in and then we had an additional wave. But that is not up to me.
Always get somebody grandma at the door at 1 o'clock. Wait, I'm here.
It happens. Like I said, I know we did it last year, if that's how we normally do it.
I love everything that you're doing. I really like that, basically come on home. I would love to see the video go out. You know, like the video go out to all new people that come into the district, so they know, you know, and you're at home.
Exactly. I'm glad you brought that video back up. So in working with School Perceptions and also PSI, they have 2 timelines, right? For communications, for disseminating information, and also then the video is obviously part of that. And so right now we have the survey done, we have preliminary data. They're coming in, like I mentioned, at the end of the month to then tell you how to interpret that data, what it means, because we can read it, but they're the experts who say, oh, but this is what the numbers really mean. And so Dr. Cotton and I have started to really sit down month by month and kind of trace out when we want to launch things, what months feel appropriate for certain things. So we have already started to scope out what is the purpose of June. So June, we can start sharing the video, as well as another thing for June is kind of going into the budget and looking at the scope of things in there and fine tuning things based on the survey results and what really the appetite for a referendum and what for changes. I mean, that's really what the survey was to figure out that appetite. Now that we have some of that information, we can process it, digest it, and we can start actually filling in some of the blanks of what we might have been missing before with information.
So you know how we have, when we come back or when school starts again in September, we have our annual meeting. Is there something special that is going to be referendum related parked on that agenda during the annual meeting?
Yeah, it will be on there. So I can't speak to a specific agenda item for that specific meeting, but there's definitely will be meetings at that time where that will be the primary discussion. I can imagine it would be brought up at the annual meeting as well.
Because people in my gym are now talking about it, like, yeah.
That's a good thing, honestly. If you go into my office, you'll see we've got it month by month. And that is part of it about when are we going to do like these community forums. I was even trying to challenge Katie on, everybody has the town hall meetings. I want to do something like a little different, something fresh. So we've been kind of bantering back and forth. What does that look like? And we know that is in that time of that September, right when we come back, that we're going to be doing some of that stuff. We got challenged about putting more meat on the referendum bones, I would say. And so we've been in that process. We got challenged by Director Robinson, and we heard you. We are just in the process of trying to get dates, putting dates together with events that make sense, and plus working with these 2 other outside entities who have their own timeline that they're trying to enforce on us as well. We're trying to do things that we know feel good and make sense for this community as we roll all of this out. So we heard you. We heard you.
Want to make it make sense.
Yeah.
Because we're real close to it now. So
yeah, we're getting closer.
And folks I think when they got the survey, right? Like person walked up to me and was like, hey, I got the survey, I completed it. I said, yay. Did you have any questions about it? He was like, no, I didn't, but he pretty much offered himself up as an ambassador. Tell me what you want me to have people, say about this, right? Like, I got you. I like what your
elementary parents.
Excuse me?
One of our elementary parents.
No, they were older.
Oh, really?
Older adult.
Yeah.
Like me.
But you're right. It is out there because I had one of our elementary parents call and was like, Dr. Cotton, what is it that we had in that last referendum that, was going to be different from this one? What did we say we were going to do? Basically, I think he might have been trying to argue a point with his neighbor. So all of that stuff is really good. So that does mean that it is.
Because he was like, I could talk to my neighbors, right? Like, and At the very least, get them out the vote
Yeah.
and just fool them on what it means.
Exactly.
Um,
And then with that, I went to our local historian, Ms. Turner, and said, tell me, so that when this comes up next time, I've got complete answers about what we did in the last two referendums.
And that's really
The
key too,
district.
because I wasn't here when the last one
Mhm.
ran too, so it'd be
Yeah.
nice to have some background info on
I
stuff.
was a local historian, so yeah, she was able to help.
And then, one of the beautiful things about the survey was, I say beautiful in almost an ironic way, is of course, people could leave comments. And I spent, and they sure did. But I spent the time as well as, Dr. Cotton, and eventually we can, share the results. But, by reading almost all 600 comments, good and bad, because in order to put on some of those meat and potatoes and start making those decisions, we have to be informed about, what their opinions are, whether correct or misinformed, so we know what information we have to counter it with, especially talking about what was accomplished in the last referendums, because that was one of the big comments that people had. So there's a whole lot of moving pieces.
Caitlin, may I, before you move on forward, if you would like, we can share with you the preliminary data. Remember, we've still left it open because we knew that we had mail in. We wanted to make sure all of that got included in our tally. If you remember I think it was last month, I told you it was approximately 500. As of when that closed on the first, it had shot up to 648. So we still anticipate that maybe we get another 50, but that's 50 more voices. And so we can share with you what we have right now, but know that when they come on the 26th, other additional information may come about.
And also the depth in which they go in is much deeper than the preliminary stuff as well, so they can break it down by all sorts of numbers. Any other questions?
Question. Can I make a suggestion? Instead of rates cover, can it just be discounted?
Sure.
But they already went out, though.
Well, these already went out, but part of the rediscover is because these are people who did start with us and then have chose to left. So there is a sense of rediscovery. But I do hear your feedback, and moving forward, this is not the first time we've sent one like this. So if we do targeted mailing for this specific group in the future, we can always make adjustments and change design and wording. But this was just to almost like a trial of putting it out there and then seeing if there was any response. And even if there was no response, again, just reintroducing ourselves, getting the conversation started even within the community in and of itself.
Yeah, just putting us back in your face.
That's for saying I might not want to rediscover what I was missing. So the discover to me signifies that some changes.
Exactly.
The things happening.
Thank you. Yeah, no, thank you for that.
Absolutely.
Believe me, she and I go back and forth. What's here, what's going. That's good. That's good feedback.
Anything else? Okay, then that's what I have for you guys.
Thank you. Thank you. All right. Up next on our agenda is number 6, the adjournment.
I would like to take this time.
Take this.
Say too much though. So really just hone in on it. I would like to make a motion to adjourn.
All right, thank you, Director Farrington. Is there a second? A second. Director James. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries 6-0. Looks like we're gonna go home. Well, I mean, you don't have to go home, but you have to leave. We are adjourning at 7:41. Thank you all for your participation and attendance tonight. We look forward to seeing you again in a couple of weeks. Have a good one.